can't see?
Oh yeah, I haven't told you?
No.
Yeah, no, I can't. It's just my eyes don't work. Hello, and welcome back to this cozy corner of the internet. By the way, everyone's always afraid I'm gonna hit the cactus. I hate to break it to all of you. She's fake. She's very fake. All of my plants are fake because I kill real ones. I don't try to. They just die. It's beyond my control. I have like the green finger, the green thumb of death, apparently. Not spawns. But if you're wondering, all my fake plants pretty much are from a company called Nearly Naturals. Literally everyone thinks they're real. So if you're looking for good fake plants, that's my recommendation. And then I have like one from Target and one from a company called StruckTube. But like my big ones are all from Nearly Naturals. And I definitely plan to get more because I really love them. And they fill the space with fake greenery. Also, I have a cozy little candle lit. And I have these funny little, it's like this container of matches. What does it say again, Mom? Of course, she runs away.
I'm having some water.
To selfishly get a glass of water. How dare she? We are filming. How dare you have your own needs?
Filming for Molly, no less. Again, how dare I? It is beautiful to light a candle than to curse the dark. It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness.
I thought it was very funny. They had multiple different ones with like different phrases on it, but I thought that was...
That is so perfect.
Yes, that's...
Your brother gave you that.
Yes,
girlfriend. Yeah.
My brother and his girlfriend gave me the money and I bought it.
Yes.
They live in Europe, so they definitely didn't go out and purchase that, but I love it. So cute. Anyways, I would tell you what company that is, but I have no idea. Not the point. This is a haul of a bunch of things I've recently bought because I'm blind. Excuse me. Filming is in progress.
That was a little sound effect, eh?
Yeah, it was really well timed, actually. Anyways, this is probably like not relatable for most of you, because most of you probably aren't blind, but for the percentage of you that are, I thought I'd share with you all the things that I have recently purchased, procured into my life, because I can't see. These are all things that have been super helpful.
You can't see?
Oh yeah, I haven't told you?
No.
Yeah, no, I can't. It's just my eyes don't work the way like yours do. You know, you get to just like put glasses on. Those don't help me.
Ah.
Yeah, it's this genetic defect because my parents were awful people, so they got cursed.
Getcha.
Me. Or blessed.
Couldn't be better. Blessed.
Depends how you look at it.
Blessed.
Okay. See, I tell you, my parents and I joke around about my blindness all the time.
Yep.
And when I make jokes about it, everybody's like, oh, your parents must be so hurt when you say things like that. And I'm like, who do you think I got this sense of humor from? My parents. We're Irish. We're very blunt, dry people, and we cope with humor. Highly recommend. Okay, so let's start with my cane. I've been using, my cane a lot more than I have in 7 years because my guide dog is transitioning to retirement. Anyway, so I've been using my cane a lot more, so I've been trying different things out. And I got this rolly tip. I already had this classic cane. I've had it for years, just the red and white. I do also have a hot pink one, but I do use the red and white one more often than the pink one out nowadays. The pink one's like my fun cane. This one's like my realistic everyday cane. But the tip is a rolly tip. It's called the OmniSense tip. I will tell you where I got all of these things. The OmniSense cane tip I got at the Low Vision shop. I'll link it below. And yeah, it's just a rolling tip. I believe the company comes out of Australia. And the only thing I will caution you on is it does make your cane even heavier. And the problem is the weight is at the bottom of the cane. So your wrist up here, which, okay, I have tiny wrists. I have very small wrists. I'm really petite. I'm the size of an average 11-year-old. So just picture an 11-year-old girl. I'm that size. So my wrists, granted, are weak. I don't have super strong wrists. So I find it quite heavy, but I do really like it. It adds extra audio kickback. It glides really easily over rough surfaces. So yeah, I feel like it's like my off-roading cane tip, if you will. Would recommend. I do like it. Since we're talking about the Low Vision shop, I'll just show you the other things that I got from there. I got this guiding guard. I don't know what they call it. I don't know why I called it a guard. It's not a guard. It's like an 8. Here, there's Braille on the package. What do they call it? Okay, it's a Ramble Tag. That's the brand, is Ramble Tag. This is a Scottish company. I have a couple of them, but they're floating around somewhere. This is the only one I have still in the package because I've used the other ones. It comes in different sizes for different sized arms and different colors. Which color is this one, Mom?
Sorry, that one's orange.
Okay, this is the neon orange. It does come in a more subtle black. These are really, really cool because basically you would strap this to the upper arm above the elbow or to the wrist if you wanted of somebody who was going to give you sighted guide, and then you hold this handle instead of holding their arm. I think during the times like COVID when we all don't want to really touch each other, this is super useful. Here, I'll show you how it works. So the inside has like this grippy stuff, so it like doesn't slip off the person's arm if they're getting sweaty. Also just makes it a little bit more comfortable. And then it has these 2 adjustable Velcro straps that just strap around the upper arm. And there's left side and right side ones depending on what side you like sighted guide on. Some of the handles are more like flush to the armband, and then some are more like wide or have a little bit more distance like this one does. What I like this for, because like if I'm like with my family or friends, like I don't mind just doing a regular stroll. I don't mind just grabbing their arm. But what this is good for, I feel like, is things like hiking or just super hot, sweaty days when you're like out at an amusement park all day or something, because there's nothing more icky than when like your hand is sweating and their arm is sweating and it's all a whole sweaty mess and you're touching each other and everybody's hot. To not have to touch somebody's sweaty arm and do this instead seems luxury to me. Also, things like hiking where it's really bumpy and it's easy to lose grip on like an arm which is wider versus this, you have, because the thin strap, you just can have such a good grip on it. Usually when I do like hiking or anything that's a little bit more tricky, I'll hold on to somebody's backpack handle, like the handle on top of the backpack, but this is so much easier than holding on to the handle of a backpack. Or I've even been known to attach my guide dog harness to a backpack to hold the handle. So this kind of is like an easier way to replicate that. So love this, excited to have that in my life. What do I want to show you next? Ooh, okay. All my blind folk already know about these. Of course, just clear Bumpits. They had like orange, black, and clear. I like the clear ones, so I got the clear ones. I just got these from the CNIB store, but I believe they sell them on MaxiAid as well, I think. But yes, they are just small. I got just the tiny small sizes. And it's just a strip of these sticky dots. So basically, if you don't know, you unstick these tiny little bumpy dots that are like a rubbery texture and stick them to things to indicate maybe what it is or what have you. So got some more of these. They're always good to have in my life. If I haven't been able to get my hands on these, I've been known to use Velcro stickers, just like the ones you get at like a department store, or not a department store, like a hardware store. And just use like either the soft side of the Velcro or the rough side of the Velcro. So that's also an easy option as an alternative to the actual Bumpits. Ooh, next, also from the CNIB store, I got a ID cane.
Have you been using that a little bit? What do you got?
I haven't yet, but I need to. Let me show you guys. She's tiny.
She's so cute.
She's a tiny little baby cane. I used to be so jealous. I've always been way too blind to use an ID cane. So for those who don't know, an ID cane is an identification cane, and basically it's a mini version of a regular cane that a blind person would use. And this is usually for people who can see enough to not need an actual mobility cane, but would like to have something to identify themselves to the public that they are visually impaired and may need assistance. So I've had a couple friends growing up who used ID canes, and I was always so jealous when they'd just be like standing there with their cute tiny little cane. It usually comes up to like belly button height or hip height, and they'd just be like holding this slim cute little cane, and I was always like, I want one. So now I have one, and I mean, I'm way too blind for this, but the reason I got this is because recently I've been doing orientation and mobility lessons in my new neighborhood, and I have a path nearby, which is a walking path, which I would really love to be able to walk just on my own or with my guide dog. The problem is, to get to the walking path, you have to cross over a biking path, when I'm walking with my guide dog, unfortunately, vast majority of people don't identify me as being a blind person with a guide dog. Can't tell you why, but they don't. And so, especially when people are riding on a bike really fast, they're not like looking out like, oh, is that a blind person? I should stop. Maybe if I had my cane, my regular cane, they would, but with my guide dog, that doesn't happen. And because bikes move really quick, I'm always really, really fearful trying to cross that path on my own without a sighted person to help, because they just move really quick and I don't want to get hit by a bike. And so I was talking to my O&M, or orientation and mobility instructor, about this and asking her what she thinks I should do. And she suggested that I get an ID cane, they're super tiny, and I can just keep it in my purse. And then when I'm going to go cross, I can take it out. And then even though I have my guide dog there, again, so many people are out walking with dogs, people on bikes are moving quick. Even when they aren't, nobody ever freaking seems to clue in that I'm blind. So I need to take it into my own hands to make sure it's clear that I'm blind. So even though I have my guide dog on harness, if I hear a break in the bikes, or I'm not sure if there's a bike coming, what I will do is take this out and literally stick it out in front of me across the path like I am conducting traffic.
You're scaring me.
I am a train coming through. So I will put the train stop down and no traffic can cross it because I am crossing. Again, this was not my idea. This was my O&M instructor. So if you're going to get mad at me and tell me that's not what you're supposed to do, that's what my specialist told me. I'm just doing what my specialist told me. If your specialist tells you something else, you do that. This is what mine told me. So this is what I'm doing. It's something I plan to just keep in my purse when I'm going out places that I haven't been before, especially because if you recently saw my video about guide dog discrimination, basically I'm facing it constantly, more than ever. It just keeps getting worse year over year, and I just would like to be able to at times hold a symbol in one hand that is more identifiable as blindness, which a red and white cane here in North America does more so identify blindness to people than a service dog at this point, because service dogs are so used for so many different reasons and so misused by selfish people. Okay, next thing. Ooh, sticky Braille paper. I also got this at the CNIB shop. This is a whole pack of sticky Braille paper. They do sell this at Maxi Aid as well. But yes, I am excited to have this in my life. I don't have a Braille label maker, and I tried to get one, but they didn't have any in stock, so hopefully I'll be getting a Braille label maker soon. And yeah, so basically what this is it's paper that I can make Braille labels out of. So I will just put this into my Perkins Brailler. Can you pass her on over, Mom?
Yes, here she is. There.
Here's one of my two Perkins Braillers. This is my more new modern one. This is my red Perkins Brailler. So basically, I will use this hefty machine and I will stick this sticky clear Braille paper into it, and then I'll be able to make labels and like label things around my apartment and whatnot. And then what I will do, okay, here's the thing, you guys. I've needed and wanted all of these things for years, but I've literally been so busy traveling and never home.
So ridiculous.
I've literally never been home for years, hardly ever home. So I just have never had time to like restock. I used to have this, I used it all, and never had time to restock and re-Braille label things. So I'm very excited to have this back in my life. And yeah, I'll just be making some labels for different things that I need to refresh and label, and then I'll be able to like cut them and then peel off the back. And for those who can see, you can see that it is a clear sticker that I can now stick to things and have Braille labels, even though I don't have a Braille label maker. What else is over here? Ooh, these are exciting. Air tags. I got a set of 4 air tags. I only have 3 here because I already set one of them up, but I haven't set up my other 3. I got mine custom done with the emojis because your girl likes to have fun in life. We know this. What's this one, Mom?
That is the cat representing lavender.
This is lavender.
Turn it around slightly to the other way. There.
This is my cat lavender on my AirTag. Also, because I use both an iPhone and a Samsung, these pair well with my iPhone, and then I'm thinking of getting some of the Samsung version to pair with my Samsung device. So if any of you have tried the Samsung ones, let me know what you think of them. The one I set up already was the unicorn emoji, that emoji right there, and I put her in my wallet.
It turned the other way. There we go, the unicorn.
There's my unicorn. She's in my wallet. So I just put her in the coin purse, and I can ask my phone, "Where's my wallet?" And it'll ring.
It's brilliant.
Very
Absolutely
exciting.
Brilliant.
Very exciting. And obviously these are useful for sighted people as well, but being blind, they are like extra useful.
Well, isn't this called universal design?
Exactly, Neve. Well done. Well done.
You're teaching me well.
If you'd like to learn about accessible versus universal design of beauty products, check out that video I did. And then we have this one. What's this one, Mom?
The upside down dog.
That way?
Yes.
Okay, so this is dog to represent Galloper Gooseman.
And any future guide dog.
And any future guide dog. Whoever's meant to fly into my life. Okay, and then we have...
Wait now. Oh, that is the poop.
Is it the right way?
Yeah.
Boom, smiling pile of poop. Now, I was on the phone with somebody from the Apple Store ordering these, and I was telling him, like, what emojis I wanted, and he, like, burst out laughing when I said I wanted one with the poop emoji. And he was like, "You've literally made my day. I never thought I would ever get to make an air tag with a poop emoji on it." So, I'm going to use one of those for my keys. I just need to get one of the key holders to be able to put it on my keys. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with the other two. So let me know any of your ideas. I would say my purse, but Lord knows I have many. Okay, then I purchased this, the Black Book of Color. Is it the right way, Mom?
Yes.
Great.
It is.
I got the Black Book of Color, and I got those on Amazon. It was like $18. I was really excited. I made a TikTok about it that went like viral, crazy. People were real excited about that TikTok. Now this is a book that kind of describes how blind people see color or think of color. Obviously, every single blind person is unique and different, so you can't make like blanket statements, but this is kind of the idea or the inspo behind the book. It's really cool. The one thing that makes me really sad is that like the Braille and the images are, quote, tactile, but it's kind of like basically a gimmick for sighted people to enjoy.
Can you show it higher up? There we go, yeah.
Can they?
Yeah, you can see the Braille there.
Braille there, and then
Yeah,
an
that's good.
image there.
The image, yeah.
But, so it is tactile, but it's like so faint that it's not really legible for actual blind people. And I've heard a bunch of blind people say that.
Oh, you
What?
forgot about your doll.
Oh yeah, you should grab her.
And the Braille's really good on that.
So that's kind of sad, but I did pick this up, and I do think it's a beautiful kids book. With the Black Book of Color, I'm thinking of doing a video where I personally describe how I think of each color. So if you are interested in seeing that, please, I'm going to pin a comment and asking for colors that you would like to hear what I think of when I hear those colors as somebody who can't see them. And I think that would be a really fun video. So comment your color suggestions, and I will film a follow-up if you guys are interested. And thumbs that pinned comment up if you want to see that video. Because I'm only going to do it if you guys like actually show interest in seeing me describe color from my personal blind perspective. Check this out. Amazon, $18. Then I got my Helen Keller Barbie. I got my Helen Keller Barbie. Little blind Molly is so happy. So yes, actual Barbie. The actual Barbie brand came out with a Helen Keller Barbie. They worked with the NFB on creating it. Basically, I feel like I don't have to explain who Helen Keller is. I will link information about her down below if you want to educate yourself, because sadly there are so many myths and misconceptions about her. But she was a deafblind educator and so incredible, and definitely an inspiration to me growing up. And the box has Braille on it that's really well done and super easy to read. It is in Unified English Braille, I believe, which I haven't learned yet, but I do plan to. And it's fully brailled on the back of the box. I don't plan to take her out of her home because she's just perfect living in her little Braille box. But I'm really, really excited that I got my hands on this. It is a part of the Barbie Inspiring Women collection. Okay, what else do I have to show you? What other blind girl things have I gotten lately? The final thing I have to show you is from Freedom Scientific, and they were kind enough actually to gift this to me, so I'm very grateful. And this is the Focus 40, nope, I already own the Focus 40. This is the Focus 14 Braille Display. I'm really excited. This is very cute and tiny compared to my Focus 40. And so this Braille display is definitely going to be my like travel Braille display. Now, a lot of my blind folk were shocked to hear that I am 27 and I have never had a Braille display of any kind. I've never had any kind of digital Braille device. Unfortunately, like that was just not something I was given access to growing up. And every blind person has a different experience and different access to opportunity and equipment growing up. And this was never something that I was provided, and it was never something that was really given to my family as an option for me, unfortunately, which I was a Braille and voiceover user. So I really am the perfect candidate to have used this, and I am not sure why it was never offered to us as an option, but it never was. And I've wanted one for about 8 years now, but could not afford it. For the first couple of years, I couldn't afford any that were on the market at the time. And for the last few, again, I've wanted one, and I have been so busy traveling that I knew I could buy one, and then I would never have the opportunity to actually sit down and train and learn it, because there is a big learning curve to use these devices. And so finally, I do have time because I'm not traveling, so it was the great time to get a Braille display, and I've now procured 2 into my life in the last like 6 months. So I'm very excited. And because I got the same 2, just different sizes, I can it's the same to use on both devices, which is great. So I only really have to learn how to use it once. Yeah, I'm really excited to have this. For those who are sighted and have no idea what this is, I've always explained it as like a Braille computer. There's going to be some blind people who are like, that's not what it is, that's misleading. But that's how I like conceptualize it in my head as somebody who didn't understand for years. That is how like I understood it. If you are also blind, I would love for you to comment and help a girl out and tell me how you would explain a Braille display to sighted people. And I feel like there are some that truly are like standalone, like the Braille notes with the like touch screen and stuff, the super big fancy ones. I feel like those truly are like standalone computers, no? That's how I've always understood it. Anyways, this Bluetooth connects to my smartphone or my computer and then displays in Braille what is on the screen in print. So if I don't want to use the voice, I can use Braille, which for me, the reason I've always wanted one is for memorization. I memorize a lot of speeches, I memorize a lot of scripts, and so for me, I memorize better by feel than I do by hearing, which I think a lot of sighted people could relate, that they would memorize better by reading visually than they do by hearing something read to them. And so that is why I've been wanting one for years, and I'm just very happy that I finally do have one. That is what this is. If you want me to do some videos about my Braille display, let me know. Yeah, I was always told, and like let me know as fellow blind folk, when you got your first Braille display and how you got it, and like what the process and system you went through is, because I know every state, every province, every city, every school board, like all have different rules around getting assistive technology. I was always told that when I went to college, they would prescribe me a Braille display. Well, I never went to college. I started working straight out of high school. So that was always what my family was told, is like, Molly can get a Braille display when she goes to college. And I never did. So that's why I never got one until now. And I'm just very excited to have one. Actually, very excited to have 2. And then finally, where's my cane, Neeby?
Here it comes.
I know I teased this in this video when I used my cane for a day. Is this the right way?
Nope, other way. There we go.
But I got the WeWalk Smart Cane. This is the only cane of its kind. This was also very kindly gifted to me, so very appreciative of that. This was, they sell this at the Low Vision shop. I'm not sure where else they sell it, but this is a very expensive cane. She's over $500, depending on what currency you're in. And it is a UK company. I'm really excited to try it out. I haven't yet because I've been waiting to do a video where I try it for the first time. If you guys are excited to see me give this a try, you know, give this a thumbs up. Let me know you're excited and want to see it. It comes with this lightweight, super lightweight cane with a rolling tip, but I could probably switch it out for my OmniSense. And then you screw the handle on. This is an all-white cane because it is a UK company, and in the UK, all white is the standard cane, and the red and white is for deafblind people. I believe that's what I've been told. Then it has the actual smart cane handle. Now, of course, this is going to add extra weight to the cane, but the difference between this adding extra weight to the cane and the OmniSense one is that this is adding it to the handle, so the weight is being added to the top, versus the weight being added to something that's really far away from your wrist that you're trying to move really far back and forth. So yeah, I'm very excited to try this out, but I've been waiting to do a video on it, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. But this is the last thing, come on, get back in there, there we go, that I have brought to my life recently to help make life a little bit easier. That's my WeWalk. And that is everything. Comment down below and let me know if you are also blind. Please let me know other things that you've purchased or gotten that have like absolutely helped make a difference to your everyday life as a blind person, whether it's like in your home or just using out and about in the real world, because I'm always looking for just like ways to make life easier and to accommodate myself. So let me know. And if you're blind or sighted, let me know if any of these things were interesting to you and if you'd like to see more follow-up videos on any of them or would like more information on any of them. And that's all for today. That was fun. I'm glad we did this. This was a good talk, you guys. All right, if you would like more Molly in your life, you can click over here to hear me talk more about guide dog service dog discrimination. And you can click over here to hear about my recent loss in more vision. Okay, see you next time. Bye.